Hello everyone, I'm Rupali Meshram. Today we are going to see Standard 5th Environmental Studies Part 2, Chapter number 2, History and the Concept of Time. Here in this chapter, 4 points we are going to discuss. 2.1 Division of Time and the Timeline, Measurement of Time and Methods of Measuring Time. 2.3 Historical Periods. 2.4 Scientific methods of measuring time and establishing age, that is dating. So today the first point, division of time and the timeline, that we are going to see today, and the remaining 3 parts we are going to see in the next period. Let's see what is given in this content. Division of time and the timeline. There are different methods of reckoning time. Time is continuous, but for our convenience, we divide it into periods. Yes, time is continuous, and however, we divide it into periods for our convenience. For our convenience, to understand for ourselves, we divide the time into different methods. The method that we use for reckoning time depends on our purpose for dividing it and the manner in which we do it. So as whatever the methods that we use for reckoning time depends on our purposes for dividing and the manner of dividing it. For example, at sunrise we say it is morning now. The day has begun. At sunset we say it is evening now. Soon it will be night. At the end of the day, it becomes dark and it is night. This means that we divide the day into 2 parts, day and night. Yes, if you will see the example which they had given, you can come to know at sunrise and in morning what we say, it is morning now and the day has just started. At sunset what we say, it is evening now and soon it will be night. Means after some time the sun will set and the night will start. And when the sky becomes dark, at that time we say it is night. Means what we do, we divide the part or the day into 2 parts, that are day and night. These are the 2 parts of day. Our earth rotates around its axis at a certain speed. Similarly, it also revolves around the sun. Yes, what the earth do, as earth rotates around its axis, but while rotating around its own axis, it also rotates the sun. The sun has its own light. We receive light from the sun, as while rotating itself, the earth gets light from sunlight, and we all, the earth living beings, we get the light from sun. However, we see light only in daytime. Nights are dark. How does this happen? If you will see that sometimes when the earth is facing the sun, the part which the earth is facing at that time, there it will be day, and the part where the sun rays are not able to reach, that part will be of night. While rotating around the earth's axis, when the earth faces some of the part of earth, as we know, the earth, it is inclined. So the part which is facing towards the sun, it will, or in that part we will see the daytime, and the part where the sun rays are not reachable, that part will be of night. This happens due to the rotation of the earth. The day and night, this concept takes place due to the rotation of the earth. As the earth rotates around its axis, that part of its surface which turns towards the sun becomes bright. Just I told you, as while rotating, when the earth rotates around its axis, what happens? The surface of the earth which faces towards the sun, it gets light from the sun and it gets bright, due to which in that part the daytime we can see. The part that moves away from the sun moves into dark. The earth takes 24 hours to complete one rotation around its own axis. These 24 hours are approximately divided into 12 hours of daytime and 12 hours of night. A period of time, daytime and the following night together make one day. Yes, what we do, as the earth rotates, the part that moves away from the sun, it moves into darkness, so that in that part it will be night, where the sun rays are reaching or sun rays is bright. In that part the daytime will be seen and the remaining part it will be dark, so that in that part it will be night. The earth that takes 24 hours to rotate around its own axis, when one rotation on its own axis is completed, one day is completed. While revolving like this only, when it will rotate, it will revolve around the sun while rotating around itself. It will also revolve the sun. When one circle will be completed, 1 year will be completed. Means what? Earth rotates around its axis, but also the earth revolves around the sun. And to consider the 24 hours, we divide this 24 hours into 12 hours day and 12 hours night. A period of daytime and the following night together make one day. Means 12 hours of day and 12 hours of night togetherly 24 hours are completed, and one day is completed in 24 hours. We divide 24 hours of a day into 12 hours of day and 12 hours of night. 7 days from Monday to Sunday make 1 week. 2 weeks make a fortnight. 4 weeks make a month. 12 months make a year. In this manner, we reckon time in bigger and bigger units. 1 year is followed by another, and when 100 years go by, a century is completed. When 10 centuries, that is 1000 years are gone, a millennium is completed. Such a method of dividing time is known as unilinear division of time. Let's see one by one what they are given. 7 days from Monday to Sunday. We make 1 week. Weeks make a fortnight, means 1 month is completed. 4 weeks make a month. 12 months make a year. It means that 7 days, 1 week, 2 weeks, fortnight, 4 weeks, month, 12 months, 1 year. In this manner, we remember the days. And the units, it goes on bigger and bigger. Like this only, when 100 years go by, a century is completed. After 100 years, 1 century will be completed. And when 10 centuries will be completed, 1000 years are gone. When 1000 years will be gone, when 10 centuries will be completed. So, this is the method of dividing time, is known as the unilinear division of time. Just you have to remember, 7 days makes 1 week, 2 weeks make a fortnight, and 4 weeks make a month. 12 months make a year, 100 years make a century, and 10 centuries make a millennium. Let's see what is common era. That is Christian era. In the unilinear division of time, years that follow one after the other are arranged in serial order. In history books, also a chain of events that follow one after the other is presented in a linear and serial manner. For this, usually we refer to the common era, that is Christian era, written in short as CE or AD, Anno Domini, and which means in the year of our Lord. Yes, we divide it as common era, that is Christian era, and the short forms which we use CE or AD. In future time, many times we are going to use this type of words CE and AD. This method of dividing time is known as a unilinear division of time. In unilinear division, the years are arranged in a serial order. That is, this division of time is known as a common era or Christian era. The Christian era that began in memory of Jesus Christ. The events that took place before the beginning of the era are denoted by before Christ, that is BC, and after the Lord, that is AD, that is Anno Domini. The calendar we use today is based on the Christian era, now called the common era. This era began in memory of Jesus Christ. So as the common era, that is CE, is begin in the memory of Jesus Christ. The first year of this era is the year when it began. It is shown with the number 1. The years after that are indicated by the next number in serial order. The first 100 years, that is the first century of this era, is written as 1 equals to 100 CE. It means that when one century will be completed, 100 CE, that is 1 is to 100 Christian era, or 1-100 AD, that is 1 first 100 Anno Domini. The period of the first millennium of this year, this era is written as when 1 millennium will be completed, means 10 centuries will be completed. So 1-1000 CE, that is 1000 Christian era. It means that we will come to know that the 10 centuries are past. Or we will say AD, that is Anno Domini. CE means before the birth of Jesus Christ, and AD means in the year of our Lord, that is Anno Domini. Time before the common or Christian era. The period before the common era is known as the time before common era, that is BCE. So as the period which had been taken place before the common era is known as the time before common era, that is BCE, before common era. Or before Christ, that is BC, before Christ means before the birth of Jesus Christ, that is BC. The year of this period are counted and written in reverse order. The first century before the common era began at the year 100 BCE, that is, it means that the common era had been started before the 100 BCE, means 100 before Christ era, and ended with 1 BCE. It means that 1 before Christ era. Similarly, the first millennium before the common era began at the year 1000, that is BCE, before Christian era, and ended with the year 1 BCE, before Christian era. Or we can say BCE, before common era also, or before Christ. So the first century before the common era is indicated as 101 BCE, and the first millennium before the common era is indicated as 1001 BCE. Before common era, BCE, and BC before Christ. So as this is the method of indicating millennium and the first century, how we can count 100, that is 1 BCE, means one century is completed. When they will write 1001 BCE means 1 millennium before Common Era is completed. Let us look at some examples of this method of indicating time before the Common Era or Christian Era. The lifetime of Vardhaman Mahavir is written as 599 BC. Means Vardhaman Mahavir, he was before Christ, that is in 599. BC means before Christ, and 527 BC means 527 before Christ. The lifetime of Gautam Buddha is written as 563 BC to 483 BC. It means that 563 before Christ and 483 before Christ. Let's see this chart. BC or BCE, before Christ or before Common Era, that is 2000. BC or BCE 1500, BC BCE 1000, BC BCE 500, BC BCE 100, AD CE, that is Common Era or Anno Domini 100, AD CE 500, AD CE 1000, 1500, 2000. This is the period how we can count before Christian Era or before Christ or Anno Domini, that is Christian Era. Common Era and Christian Era, we can divide according to this period. BC means before Christ, BCE means before Common Era, AD Anno Domini, and CE Christian Era or Common Era. The next part 2.2 we are going to discuss in the next period. Let's revise what we had studied today. Division of the time and the timeline we had seen. In that we had seen time is continuous, however we divide it into two periods for our convenience, that is day and night. The method that we use for reckoning time depend on our purpose for dividing and the manner of dividing. We divide 24 hours of a day into 12 hours of day and 12 hours of night. 7 days make 1 week, 2 weeks make a fortnight, and 4 weeks make a month. 12 months make a year, 100 years make a century, and 10 centuries make a millennium. This method of dividing time is known as unilinear division of time. In unilinear division, the years are arranged in a serial order, so that this divisions of time is known as a Common Era or Christian Era. CE, both we can say Common Era or Christian Era. The Christian Era began in memory of Jesus Christ. The events that took place before the beginning of the era are denoted by before Christ, BC, and those after the beginning are denoted as AD, that is Anno Domini, which means in the year of our Lord. So these all points we had seen today. The next 2.2 measurements of time and methods of measuring time we will see in the coming chapter. Don't forget to subscribe my channel for my latest notification. Thank you.